So hello everyone, I'm back with another video. Okay, had to fix something real quick with the recording. Okay, so everything is running fine right now. So I'm gonna be back with another video for you guys. It's gonna be some 16 plus game. So let's have a look what's going on. I'm gonna be playing as the set this time around, as in the last videos as well. Probably should be researching hunting dogs very soon. Seems like I forgot, but I will be fixing that ASAP most likely. Okay, so let's have a look at the other players. So in the pocket, it's gonna be my friend Coco the King. He is called Shut Up in here. This is one of his Smurfs, but it is actually the real Coco the King. 18 plus 1v1 player, pretty decent player. So let's see how that's going to be going for him on this part. He's playing as Isis, which is, I mean, he's a great player with any god really, but Isis is probably one of his worst gods. So yeah, that's might result in some interesting gameplay there. So let's see how he's going to be going. And on the other side, it's gonna be my friend Somas on the other flank. Yeah, so he's gonna be playing as his favorite Oranos. He likes to play Oranos all the time. Somos is around 1550, although he did improve lately. I wouldn't say he is 16 plus just yet, but we ended up playing in a 16 plus room anyways, because he needs to practice versus good players. I think that's essential for him to improve. So let's have a look at the other side of the team, or of the game rather. So it seems like Somos is going to be playing against Gape Killer, a solid raw main, probably around 16. Yeah, somewhere between 1600 and 1650. Not sure if I would call him 16.5 plus, but he is a solid raw player. So let's see how he's going to be playing this game. And there's going to be another raw. It's going to be Berangela playing as the raw in here. Yeah, Berangela solid 16 plus player as well. Not sure how good his raw is, but I guess we'll find out in this game. Yeah, he's going to be playing as a raw, monument up already. And let's see how that's going to be going for him. And on the other flank, it's gonna be against me playing Onu Melodias. I don't know. I don't really know this guy, but he seemed pretty decent according to his history. I think it was some 1650 Smurf. This game was played a few weeks ago, so I don't really remember it too well. I thought he was some Smurf account. Probably he was 16 plus most likely. So yeah, let's see how this game is going to be played. Let's jump back to my perspective. Did I fix my hunting dogs? Yes, I did, so that's good for me. Seems like my monument is coming up as well. 3 on wood, so that's going to be meaning that I'm going to be going for the second TC despite me facing an Oranos. And it seems like I found some elephants for myself. And I'm going to be quite happy about this. This would be otherwise out of my reach as an Egyptian against an Oranos. But since I can convert it, it seems like I'm gonna be able to eat the animals anyways. Okay, so not too much going on just yet. So how is things going for Coco? He's getting his temple up as well. My temple is almost finished at this point. My food run out, that's not entirely ideal. But with the elephant moving in, I decided to go for this nonetheless. Okay. And on this side, it's gonna be my friend Somas, who is not advancing yet. And this is why, this is a mistake. He went all the way for the front hunt, but until advancing, this would have probably been a lot better hunt source for him, just so he could advance in time. Since he's facing the raw, I'm thinking he's gonna be just fine anyways, but he should definitely eat these chickens before he moves out, if he is that close to advancing. Because right now, he is not. Oh wait, maybe he is advancing. Okay, forget I said anything. I was in the wrong perspective. I was kind of used for having spectator mode on, or rather observer mode, because in the last game I had the observer in there that I could follow. Okay, so it seems like Somas is gonna be not that much delayed, like 10 seconds. So never mind I said anything. Seems like he's gonna be pretty much fine. 440, not too bad, a bit of delay, but my opponent is a bit delayed as well. Is he moving forward? No, just scouting out with the Prometheans, getting rid of this obelisk from my friend Coco. And how is Coco doing? Bast is coming up for him, which is pretty much standard for the ISIS. You don't really see Anubis that much, though it can be a valid option sometimes. He's gonna be moving for the gold in there, okay. As for me, am I almost up at this point? Pretty much about the same speed as Coco is. And my hyena is not gonna live for much longer. Prosperity coming in. Pharaoh on it. So he's gonna have quite a lot of golden classics, so that's nice for him. And how about Somas? He is having his first units out at this point. And he is... What is he going to be going for? He's not really advancing forward. Okay, now he is. And is there something that could be gotten? Yeah, this could be definitely raided. This is quite unsafe and far from his base. So he could be doing pretty decent in there. Yeah, this pink player is most likely going to be too late to disrupt Coco's prosperity at this point. He's even leaving the Pharaoh now because... why? Just because some reason. Okay, so let's have a look what I'm doing. Getting the TC up, not even empowering it. I wasn't too afraid of pink, although he is moving in just now. It wouldn't be a bad idea to move the Pharaoh over anyways. So the farms are coming up for me. I'm gonna be set up for the rain, at least a bit. How is the farms coming up here? It seems like Gape Killer is gonna be slightly slower. Berangella is setting up some farms though, but it seems like they're both behind on me, which is rare for the Raw actually with the stronger economy. But it seems like that's gonna be the course of the game. I seem to be kind of ahead of on the farms. This TC, is it gonna be disrupted? Surely don't hope so. It might actually be. I should have maybe moved the Pharaoh over to finish it quicker. Okay, I'm kind of thinking that this CC might be finished anyway, since he's not really focusing on it. I'm thinking that's a kind of a mistake. That's probably a mistake, that he didn't decide to focus on the TC. Kind of missed opportunity for him. I think he could have definitely delayed it quite a bit, maybe even fully prevented it if he sent in some reinforcements. In the meantime, it seems like Coco is actually going to be classical fighting to some extent. Let's have a look at his resources, how he's doing. Although he does have the resources to age up almost if he wanted to. Let's see if he's... Yeah, the armory is coming up, so it is looking like he may want to do that. In the meantime, I seem to be well set up here, having 2 elephants that I could eat if I wanted to. But I might not actually want to do that. It seems like I'm going to build an armory too, to advance to heroic. And it seems like Coco is keeping pink at bay, at least here for a bit. So rain is coming in. Let's have a look at the upgrades. So he's going to be well set up with quite a bit of upgrades. Plow is in there, husbandry isn't. Actually, it is. Okay, never mind, I said anything. This is not going to be that successful raiding. And Berangella, is he going to be nicely set up as well? Yes, he has plow, no husbandry, but that's not a problem. He's not as well set up as the both of us, I think. Let's have a look at how I'm doing. Yeah, I think Gape Killer and I are definitely a lot better set up for this rain at this point. And I decided to eat one of my elephants. Okay, I still have 2 others, so... So yeah, a bit of delaying on my gold here, a bit of raiding over there, a bit of raiding over there, but it seems like I'm gonna be pretty much fine anyways. And it seems like Coco is actually gonna commit to some classical army. But is he advancing? That's what I'm wondering. Well, he could be soon, if he wanted to. So next rain from Berangella is coming in. That's gonna mean lots of food for me. And also for him at this point, I'm thinking. Yeah, at this point also for him, he's quite nicely set up at this point. He was a bit behind earlier, but now he's going to be pretty much fine. And this army is not big enough to compete with Coco's. But along with this one, it will be. So my elephants moving forward, but they won't really accomplish much, I think. They could maybe assist in the fight at least a little bit, I guess. So Neftis is coming in for me. How about Coco? He could advance if he wanted to. So what's happening in here? It seems like Somas is trying to steal Red's DC, but the Hatter is already in. So let's see how that's going to be going for him, and what's going to be the strat for this player. And Hatter is also coming in for the other Raw player in there. They're quite nicely setting up. He's claiming his forward TC over here. A bit late actually for the Atlantis to take the second TC, but he really committed to the army. As did Coco. Bit of an engagement here. That's some nice raiding. Pharaoh, that's a nice catch. That's definitely some nice catch. Bit of flying from the Villy there. That's some nice raiding. But with the assistance from Pink, I'm thinking that Green is gonna be just fine pretty much. On the other hand, this guy is gonna be able to boom for free if he wants to. He's gonna have his TC stolen though. So look at our perspective. This is not that an excellent TC, by the way, for the red player, if it would have been his. But also for Somas, it doesn't really offer that much, really. It's kind of off position here. It is a nice way to push into green, but red could easily set up here and push on this TC, which is barely secured at this point. Let's see if he's going to be taking advantage of that, the red player. In the meantime, I'm getting my first army out at this point. As Coco might be facing some sort of doubles very soon. Although Somas is helping out quite nicely on this side for the moment at least. And the Heroic Age did come in for Coco in the end. But now my assistance is coming in as well. And I'm gonna be trying to claim my third TC as the last one of our team actually. Somas is already having his third, making this one. Is he actually able to afford all of the looping? Well, he only has 2 loop, but he could definitely avoid the third. Or fix the third in there. He should probably get some gold out because he's on straight 0 and he's not mining anything. That's definitely a mistake for him. Seems like we're going to be moving ahead on this TC, and with all the elephants in there, we may succeed. This one should start doing something though. So he seemed to be doing pretty well. Coco is already setting up over here, which is gonna give him the opportunity to push into green soonly. But with the Locust coming in, this Migdal will at least be delayed for the time being. But for how long? Let's see. And this TC is gonna fall. So that's gonna be dropping the pink player on just 1 TC. And that may be resulting in some problems very soon. But with the assistance from red, this side is definitely gonna be looking quite ugly if we don't get some reinforcements from our friend here. Because Coco's army is kinda gone. I'm the only one on this side really who still has some army out. But I think this Migdal will come up, I'm kinda thinking. Okay, never mind, it's gonna be another Locust. And it seems like red is gonna be doing exactly as I expected. And he's already through Mythic, Son of Osiris out. And I'm not sure if... Well, I'm actually quite certain. I don't think Somas is prepared for all of that. The Son of Osiris is a huge deal for Atlantis. And he's not really all that well set up to dealing with that. And he's actually exactly as I predicted, taking advantage of this spot to push into this one. And Somas is not really preparing to deal with that anytime soon. In the meantime, it seems like I'm slightly forwarding. I could have taken it a little bit more risky and placed it there, but it seems like I didn't try to go for that. So how is my resource doing? Somas should fix his food, by the way. I seem to be quite low on the food, actually. 4 to 5 TCs coming in. Could afford it. No, it's not coming in. Okay, so let's have a look at this side. So the Ancestors Eclipse definitely saved this Migdal here. It wasn't in too good of a spot, really. Okay, this is not a good place to fight, as I'm realizing. And it seems like Somos is really struggling and even suiciding some units here. That's not good. He suicided it all in the Migdal. Somos is going to be in a very rough spot very soon. This walling will not do too much because the catapults will be in reach to get it anyways. It will keep the camels out, but that's it. Not the best wall I've ever seen, or not the most useful one. So as the situation is not really resolved just yet, I decided to get my own ancestors out at this point to deal with the army in here. It's mostly just a siege from Green though and the priests, so I think we're going to be pretty much fine. And this DC is secured by the Migdal at this point. That's pretty well done by me. It's going to be empowered, and that's going to be meaning that I will be on 4 TCs rather soon. In the meantime, Somos is not really doing anything to secure this. Does he have Masons? No, he doesn't. He should definitely get Masons, as the catapults are coming in, and that's going to be meaning that Somos will be losing that TC very soon. In the meantime, the front TCU has been secured by me, and I could up TOF any second now. I do have the resources, so I should definitely start doing that, as I'm doing right now. So TOF is coming up for me at this point, and we have quite enough army here to hold on at least a bit. Somos is getting rid of this catapult with Turma. That's not the best way to get rid of it, but he seems to be quite successful nonetheless with the Turma. And the TC is going to be standing for the time being, but in the meantime Green is wanting to get this TC down as well, as he may want to take it for himself, or maybe Red wants to take it. So let's see what's going to be going on here. It seems like Coco and I are slightly pushing forward, but since we don't really have that much siege, except for these 3 from Coco. Actually, we do have some siege. I don't really have siege. I'm just building my first siege works as now. So shifting sands from me, as I was realizing that Somos definitely needed some help. Despite we were doing so well here at this point, I felt I needed to save Somos, because this TC was already gone, and this wouldn't be gone much later because of the catapults in there. All Red really has to do is move it in. And let's see if I will be successful at trying to kill the Son of Osiris. I'm doubting it, to be honest. So Merc's coming in from me, as there's no pop from us on this side of the field. So I'm gonna have to try to do at least something in there. And Mercs were the answer for me. I did have the resource to get them. So where is the meteor going to be used? Okay, on this. Okay, that makes sense. A lot of Villies can die, and these Migdals maybe. That's gonna set him back quite a bit, and it might just buy a little bit more time for Somos to survive. And this Valley of the King coming in for me somewhere would definitely be a good idea if it was. It doesn't seem like it is. But it seems like this side is bouncing back in our favor again. Coco seems to be still happy and heroic at this point. Son of Osiris is halfway down. This Migdal is still standing, but with not that much HP. Let's hope Somos is going to be able to hold himself on for a little bit longer. And this CC might fall soon. He should definitely start focusing this siege tower, as he is right now realizing. Okay, so the pop limit is definitely quite bad for me, but I have a huge ass straight up at this point. Coinage coming in, I think that's what it's called. These guys should be helping. That's probably where my pop limit went. Okay. So this TC is not gonna come back for Somos, and he's not really having that much upgrade since he's in classical. These cavalry, despite the Murmillo countering them, especially along with the Chariot Archers and the Son of Osiris, that is still alive, sadly. Somos is not going to be able to do a whole lot, and this TC ended up falling nonetheless. So that's going to be dropping Somos to just 2 because he ended. He took his back DC just in time, so that's good for him. And it seems like my catapults are going to be coming in. They should definitely start focusing this Migdol before it starts resulting into any sort of problem. It seems like Coco advanced at this point as well, so the Son of Osiris might be coming in very soon. And that will help us on this side quite significantly, because it will be very hard for pink to deal with, and also for green at this point, I think. So yeah, Somos is going to be dying very soonly, as red is convincingly pushing forward. He could definitely use some catapults that would help him quite a lot. Yeah, in the meantime, it seems like me and Coco are pushing forward really convincingly at this point. My upgrades are kicking in. Valley of the Kings is in. That's pretty good for us at this point. Yeah, Somos has just tried to gather up some military over there. And it seems like I did lose my Pharaoh. That's interesting. Should have definitely fixed that, but that's not what I went for. So, okay. Armory ups coming in for me, and how is Coco doing in the upgrades department? Not much really, but he does have the Son of Osiris out, and that's gonna help us quite substantially. TC is gonna be stolen, Somos front TC, and even this one. He's taking his own one at the same time with a bit of disruption, but I don't think he will be able to do too much about it. It will be up to me or Coco to destroy it or disrupt it, really, if we really want to go for that. Okay, so shockwave on the catapults, which might save the TC for a little bit longer, but let's see if it's gonna be enough. I doubt it, to be honest, unless something really good is coming up. No, there isn't. No Masons. So yeah, TC's gonna be gone for Baron Jella, pushing him on just 2, just like his friend here. So that's gonna be giving us an upper hand, which we already had, really. Tower spam is a pretty good idea, though these priests are not gonna do too much about the elephants. In the meantime, it seems like Somos is trying to do what he can to hold on. If he wants to hold on, this is probably not the best use of his military, I think. This is pretty much suicide. But if he is lucky, he might just disrupt this Migdol. That would be like a small victory for him on that side at this point. So my allies are going to be more and more upgraded. Tusks are in, and Son of Osiris is still alive. So quite a bit of problems coming in here. So despite the cost for Somos, losing quite a lot of units, he did manage to at least delay the Migdol, or damage it quite a bit already. But this side, despite Somos slowly but surely falling apart, it's gonna be green falling apart a whole lot faster at this point. So more armory ups coming in for me. Am I Chariot's champion yet, by the way? No, they're still heavy. Should probably fix that. I do have the resources. Should probably make them champions ASAP. And this palace is gonna fall. Maybe this Migdol is gonna fall too, or the Son of Osiris, as these allies are quite good at dealing with that. Somos, or rather Coco, is gonna try to steal that forward TC. And it seems like, despite the odds, Somos is still just barely holding on. The Son of Osiris isn't gonna die any further though. So that will mean some problems for him coming in very soon. And Baron Jella should start paying some attention to his Son of Osiris, because these elephants are dealing with it quite rapidly, and now it's gone. Well, Coco still has his, from the looks of it. So shifting sands from red. These camels will do nicely against my allies, even though he has no upgrades and I do. So that might be a bit of a problem, but I'm thinking this TC might still come up if we're lucky. So let's see what's going on here. Mercs coming in from me. Some random monument in the middle of nowhere. But I decided to push into... even Son of Osiris shifted over, by the way. It seems like... I'm starting to push into pink rather than green at this point. I'm thinking Coco can deal with it by himself. This CC fell for red in the meantime. Somos is still alive as we speak. So he's preventing the watchtower from coming up. He's just doing what he can, but he is kind of hard stuck in classic. Yeah, he doesn't have gold, and he doesn't have gold secured either, and since he is not in heroic yet, he can't have the trade either. So that's gonna be some rough time for him, I think. Rough times coming in for him, although he was already having some rough times. In the meantime, it seems like pink is falling apart at a rapid pace. He doesn't really have a proper answer for these very well upgraded elephants in there. Even the bronze is in by now. Is iron coming up yet? Yeah, fully upgraded tough Ellie's coming in very soon. This manor is gonna fall, and unless somebody is gonna help him out over there, it seems like pink is gonna be just dead. And it seems like Coco had to switch into red at least a bit, just to save Somos at least for a bit, because Somos is falling apart more and more. Well, actually, it's kind of developed into a stalemate here, despite Somos not being able to do much in there. With the shenanigans from Coco here and red kind of focusing on that, it seems like he's gonna be pretty much fine. In the meantime, pink is actually just dead at this point. I'm even moving in my Pharaoh and my Villies to get some Migdal up. Let's see if I'm gonna be successful at that. It is gonna be disrupted at this point, so gonna have to shift somewhere else to get my Migdal up. Let's hope Barangella doesn't know about this. That would be pretty awful. Well, he does. The chariot has seemed to see something of it at least. Okay. So it seems like Coco got a 4 TC for himself. Actually stole the one from red. And that's gonna be meaning that red is gonna have to fight two fronts. As am I. And I'm thinking that I'm a whole lot better set up since Barangella doesn't have upgrade yet. It seems like I'm better set up to deal with all of this. Despite him making spearmen into my elephants. But they're just better upgraded. So I'm pretty much fine for the moment. It seems like I traded some resources with Somos, even though I really didn't need much wood. And at this point it seems like red is gonna start falling at this point. And, well, Somos at least has some army still. And Coco is even pressuring lightly here, trying to take this 4 TC for himself. And he might just be successful, as green is having to focus on my shenanigans over here. That's really the only way to save his teammates, so he can't really save himself. And at this point pink is realizing that this game is not gonna be theirs at this point, since he is dead. And Gape Killer is not far behind. He was realizing that this forward base is not gonna stand much longer. Green was kind of falling apart slowly but surely. So, tough game, gotta say. Especially with Somos falling apart in there, being hard stuck in classic. He couldn't really do much. He did have the copper shields, but that was it. So it was kind of up to me and Coco to win this game for our team, which we did so successfully. It seems like red was actually quite lacking in his upgrades. Yeah, I think we checked all by now. Barangella we just checked before the game ends. So let's have a look at the past game. So it seems like I'm going to be leading in most of the areas except for military. Just barely beaten my Coco in there. He had a quite nice boom going over there. I kind of started playing the game a little bit later than the others, I guess. Although I did fight in heroic, which I sometimes don't do. Usually I like to wait for my Valley of the Kings to start pushing. Yeah, we can see a pretty good ratio for Gape Killer and me. Also for Coco actually, but it's gonna be the opposite for the others, of course, for Barangella, Somos and Melodias. Especially for Somos, being hard stuck in classic is rough. Also for Pink was in a little bit better spot since he was at least in the heroic age, but it's not gonna be much better against the mythical Egypt. Something to point out here, a very late advance from Gapekiller, I guess. He was really pushing his limits there against an Atlantean. If Somos would have been a bit more aggressive in the raiding, he might have actually had some problems in there. So fairly delayed from him there. Otherwise, nothing really interesting to point out. A bit later advance from Coco here. Well, actually Barangella too. That doesn't make much sense since he didn't really make Classic Army. But for Coco, it is kind of excused since he made the Classic Army in there. Gapekiller and I kind of skipped that, and that's why we had some sort of faster advance. Although I was delayed a little bit by Pink. So nothing really interesting to point out here. We can see that Barangella was interested in making some Sphinxes, and Coco into making some Scorpion Man, but nothing too interesting. Oh, and we had to point out, well, we already kind of said that both Pink, actually both Atlanteans, one of them was hard stuck in Classic, and one of them was hard stuck in Heroic with no real chance of getting anywhere. So yeah, we can kind of see that I started playing the game in Heroic, as did Pink. Or I mean Red. So you can kind of see here that the raw boom in the earlier stages is a little bit better in the sets. And also better overall actually, because it's the priest empowerment. And the rain, of course. But since I was booming quite, keen on my economy, I ended up outbooming pretty much everybody. So yeah, I guess that's it. So GG, well played, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. GG, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.